So on today's episode of grading every LEGO Star Wars minifigure, I think we're just going through 2006 this year. I was a little surprised to, on quick glance at how many of these figures I actually owned, because around this time, my little brother was an infant. So I'm surprised my mom let so many Legos in the house that year, but to each their own. Thank you, Mom, because there's some great figures this year. So let's hop right into this. First thing, it's R2, but it's the version from the sail barge that has the little trays. As a kid, I always thought it was really cool because I don't think I had any figures that had those kind of glass pieces. So it was always cool to use those in a table. But for the R2 for the scene, yeah, it's not the best version of R2, but it's still pretty good. I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I think that's fair for our boy R2 in this state. R2-D5, a black astromech. Same way where the fact they just didn't figure out the printing on the heads yet. They couldn't print the lower part. Still not the greatest, but it's still good, cool to get a black variant of an astromech at this time. So I think this one's a 6. No, I'll give it a 7. 7's fair for this guy. Bespin guard. Man, I thought we were done with smiley faces, but I'll give it credit. It's got arm printing. That's a bit shocking for a figure that they didn't even care enough about to give an actual face print. So, solid. Very solid, but the stupid smileys are just always bug me. I think I'll give them the even 5 out of 10. Those arm printings actually help it a little bit. Bluish gray Boba. Was the other one the old gray? And is that why this is a new figure on the list? Or is the printing different? Either way, I still think it's a pretty cool Boba. I think it is a 8 out of 10 figure. I think that's what I've given them in the past, so I'm not too shocked that I'd keep them the same. 2 sets. I think this is the one that came in the magnet as well, right? Oh, the sleeve one. So was the one that came in the magnet different? Well, still an 8 out of 10 figure. Solid Boba. Dengar. Dude, it's another smiley face. We are having a smiley face year. That's 2 in the first, 5 figures? It's cool. Dengar, that was the thing. You didn't really know what underneath his mask. Well, you did. Why did they put a ninja hood on him? Because his full face was open in the movie, right? You saw from his chin up in actual Dengar. And that's why his newer figures, you actually see his face. But I just don't think it's the greatest. Yeah, I think I'll give this a 3 out of 10. Definitely those dark pupils just glazing through the ninja hood is crazy. Gamorrean guard. This is the same mold from the 2000 or 2001 Jabba's Palace. They're solid figures. I really like them, but just the lack of printing always hurts these guys. But the sunken in eyes kind of do work to make it look like they're almost printed right there. So again, I think I gave it a 7. I'll keep it at a 7. Grand Moff Tarkin. So, I didn't know. Oh, yes, we did get one in the Imperial Star Destroyer this year. So, he came in the Death Star and the Star Destroyer. I forgot he came in the Star Destroyer. That's my big thing. I really thought he was a Death Star exclusive figure. No, Tarkin is a figure you got in the Star Destroyer. It's a good figure. For the time, this is a very solid figure. You got the good Imperial logos and stuff. I bet you that is an accurate badge. They even got the details right. That is the accurate badge on, bro. They can't even do that today. But they did it on Tarkin back in 2006. You know what? That's 8. 8 out of 10. That, the sharp jawline, too. It really does look like the actor. So you gotta give it credit for that. That's a good figure. Han Solo, once again, with the winter coat. I do like the... Did the other one, I don't think it had the, fluffy furriness of the jacket. It's also got the canteen on this one. I don't think the last one had that. So, a little extra details. Classic Han Solo phase. Good belt printing. I think this is another 7 out of 10 figure. Very, very solid. Now, whoa, wait, did the other one have eyebrows like that? Hold on. Yeah, it did. Why did those eyebrows feel weird to me? Something... Maybe it's the fact that he's smiling, because this is the scene where he is blind. His character came fresh out to Carbonite, and he's blind. He shouldn't be smirking like that. He should have, if he had, eyes closed, this would be it. But Yeah, he did have basic pants. He did have a basic shirt. For the character in the scene, that's solid. It's a 7 out of 10, even though I don't think it's the most miraculous figure in the world. There's literally 2 parts to it that are even slightly interesting. But it is... You're not going to make a much better Han Solo fresh out of carbonite than this, you know? IG-88. I actually gotta say, I like this figure because they haven't really changed much. It's based off of the battle droid. They actually put it in the chrome silver, which makes this a really solid figure. I think I gotta go with like an 8. I think they are the exact same color in the battle pack that comes later down the line. But giving like a pearl, like chrome-ish kind of figure in 2006, that's not bad. That's really not bad. That does look like the shiny droid you get. I find it a little weird that the stud is on the front side, but we take it. I think that, yeah, 8 out of 10 for IG-88. I'm just going to pause the video real quick to say like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'm on my way to 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate all the help that we get. There's a new hype feature. Click that hype button. Just help me out in any way you can. I appreciate it. But let's hop right back into it. God dang it, man. What's up with this? That three smileys. 3 smiley faces this year. Again, like the torso difference between this guy and Tarkin is almost night and day. It's like they put like a bigger, thicker lines on the Tarkin figure. Again, like the hat, it's an Imperial guy. Just give him a normal face, man. Not everybody is just, like he is an actual guy. Cavalry Kepi. That is the name of the hat. That is the name of the hat. That is not the name of the person. That I apologize for being ignorant. So I thought it was supposed to be an actual I didn't know it was called a Kepi. Okay. I'm leaving that in. You know what? A shout out to you, brother. 5 out of 10. You aren't bad, but you're just smiley. Speaking of smiley, that stormtrooper face is so goofy. What's up with the plank heads underneath? When did they become just black heads underneath? Was that when the battle pack that comes out later in a couple of years was just like plain stormtroopers with like a black head underneath? And the Death Star, I think, was that way too. But it doesn't matter what color the head is. It's a great stormtrooper, and I love the goofiness of the helmet. It's still an 8 out of 10. Is it a 9? I think I gotta give, even though it's really goofy, and I like the goofiness of it, the fact that the other one that I gave a 9 was actually like more accurate to the actual guy, you know what I mean? This one's gotta be an 8, you know? Like the mask is a little less accurate, even if it's goofy and nostalgic. Still gotta drop it down a little points for the kind of weird shifted eyes that these ones have. Well, speak of the devil, we got the blackheads this year in the Imperial pilot. Again, great pilot figure. I don't have any complaints. I think it's just a case where the pilots just get better. So this one, 8 out of 10. It's a solid figure. It's just we do get better Imperial pilots down the line. Lando, the only version of Lando as a kid I had, and the only one I had up until a Han Solo movie. This one is a solid version because he was in disguise, and that mask, the mold they made for that mask is beautiful back in the day. Like, this is Lando in disguise, in the Skiff Guard uniform. I think I'm going to give this one an 8. I think, yeah, an 8 out of 10 is fine. I don't know how I feel about the pants. I think that's the only thing dragging this one down a little bit. Maybe he did have, like, the tan pants, but it just feels, like, a little different compared. Like, if he... Does he have... Let's look at the other Lando. Yeah, he did have tan pants, but he had big brown boots on them. So, dude, a dual molded leg version of this in new style Lego, that could have slapped. But I know they didn't do that in the new one. But yeah, even printing on the boots, they had like printing during this time. They could have made this figure just a little bit better, but it's still great. Luke, I've mentioned my disdain for how bland the torso is, and I did like accept my ignorance in the fact that his hands were the right color. It's, yeah, but we're the skin tone. It's the first version of Luke in the skin tone. It's still not a great figure. It's a 4 out of 10. The blonde is a little too blonde. So, like, especially when you have brown eyebrows and then blonde hair. Are you serious? Pick one or go in between. All right, Luke and the pilot. Simple pilot. That's a decent figure. I think it's just the case where I just really like when they are more accurate to the actual characters with flesh tones. That in turn, this figure, even if I gave it like a 4 or something in the past, 4 or 5, this is like a 6. I think I'll give this a strong 6. Yes, the helmet and the printing is very basic, and there's so much better Lukes when we get down the line. Still pretty solid. So 6 out of 10 is fair for this. Mace Windu non-light up, the version I had as a kid. But yeah, it's to the point that there's just many other Maces that are so much better. Like, if you ranked all the Mace Windu figures we've gotten, it'd be this and the Clone Wars one in last place. Like, you'd be hard-pressed finding someone who doesn't have this at bottom 2, because it's, like, especially since it's not the light-up version. So I think 6 is fair. You gave him the cape. You gave him his gray tunic. Respect for that. Like, you got the colors basically right on him. This face just doesn't scream Samuel L. Jackson, you know? Mouse droid. Honestly, there is nothing special about a mouse droid. But the fact is, it's simple. It might be a little big for what it is. It's so much better than the fact that they've, like, only made him, like, it's the, in recent years, they've been just the, like, rollerblade piece. No. Give me this. This is much better. Honestly, 7 out of 10. Like, you know what a mouse droid is in universe. That's it. They got it. Even if it's a little bit big for the actual, like, in-universe. Because the mouse droids are only, like, to the size of their foot instead of to their knee. These would be more like cat droids at this size. As I've said, Slave Leia is a good figure. It's so funny that they put that much detail into the figure like that. I'm surprised they didn't just go with, like, just red hips and then just regular plain legs. Because the fact that they went out of the way to make this one of the first, like, ones that have, like, the hip in between the hip printing. They couldn't even get that in between the hip printing on the Stormtroopers, like, last year. And now all of a sudden they're like, we're upgrading the technology to get Bikina Leia as best as possible. And that's really funny. But yeah, it's a great figure. It's a 9 out of 10. The new one is better. I think there's no one really surprised about that. That the upgraded one, well, not the newest one, but the one before that. That one from the new one where she's like got like boxers on is really funny. But this one's really solid. Yeah. God dang it, they're back. 4. There is a decent percent chance that in any Lego Star Wars set, so what, there's 24 figures this year. That's already a 1 in 6 chance that your figure has a smiley face on it. Just a plain blank smiley face. That is absurd, but I like the helmet. I like the torso. A-Wing pilot. That's fine. He's another, like, I'll give him a 6 because I like the green and I like the special helmet for him, but, like, come on, man. They keep coming. This is number 5. Number 5 of the year so far. And, yeah, it's nice. I'll give it another 6. A new special helmet. I like the red color. They just matched it looking pretty good. Maybe it's just also the case that when you get the same exact torso but in orange, it's on so many different figures that it gets a little boring. But you see it in a different figure like this, and you're like, oh, that's nice. I like the switch up. But come on, man. That's number 5 of the year. But wait, there's more. Number 6. So 1 in 4 figures of 2006 were smiley face people. Rebel Technician, you give him just a normal helmet. This is another janitor figure, dude. Like, this is just the janitor figure of Lego Star Wars. There is nothing that screams Rebel. Like, if you put a little insignia, the Rebel insignia on the torso, I'd be like, boom, 6 out of 10. That's really cool. This is just a guy. That's Mark at the office, bro. 2 out of 10. That's so, like, come on. And alright, we are off smiley faces. Hopefully. 10 Nub is an interesting figure. I like how in, like, for 9 Nub, they did, like, a molded head. But for the fact you have to put a helmet on this guy, you gave the whole apparatus around him, the white uniform, that's a solid figure. I like this. I think I have this one. I think this one's somewhere in the bin. I was happy to have this one. And yeah, 7 out of 10. It's good for the character that it's meant to be. I thought we were done. That's not Wedge, bro. I know my boy Wedge Antilles. He does not look like that, bro. You put... Oh, that hurts so much more because he's a named character. The other guy was just Bespin guard and the rebel technician. That's Wedge Antilles. That's our boy Luke's homie. And you gave his... Just... you know what? 2 out of 10. That's the worst figure of the year because you gave someone who actually is not just basic random guy a basic random face. That's absurd. That's absurd, and it makes it the worst one of the year. I thought we had a banger year because I thought 2006 was the one sail barge. I thought they'd actually count Jabba in this year, and I thought about like Boba. I thought about like the guards. Like there was a couple of these that I was thinking about in particular. IG-88, the Smirk Trooper. I didn't think that the rest of the year was literally flooded in just smiley faces. This is the blandest year for face prints in LEGO Star Wars, and it happened 7 years into it. So that's all I got for now. Next week, let's see how many are in 2007. 2007's 34 figures. So next week's going to be a little bit of a longer episode. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.